It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Welcome to 2K Sports, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kenny the Jet Smith. Tonight's broadcast will feature the Denver Nuggets as they go up against the Golden State Warriors at Oracle Arena. Looking at the Warriors, they're coming in off a win in their last game against Los Angeles. They had to play through overtime, and we'll see if this game will be just as competitive. Golden State does so many things well. Obviously, the offensive side of the ball, they're tremendous. But a lot of folks, Kenny, don't realize how good they are defensively, and statistically, they were the best in the league last year.
You know, Ernie, when you have multiple players on the all-defensive team, you have Andrew Bogut, you got Draymond.
Michigan State, number 23, Draymond Green. And from Davidson, number 30, Stephen Curry. And coach of your home team is Steve Kerr. Let's hear it for your Golden State Warriors.
We've got NBA basketball in store for you. We're live at the Oracle Arena in Oakland, California. The home of the Warriors, live on 2K Sports. You're in for a treat as we bring you NBA basketball on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan. Joining me, Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and courtside Doris Burke. You look at the Nuggets. Well, it's been an improvement this year over last season. They made a lot of adjustments, and happy to see that they translate into some tangible results.
I guarantee you what, guys, the adrenaline is already flowing on both sides. A rivalry matchup like this means a little more to the players than just any other game.
And not just the players, Greg. How about the fans, too? I mean, they get into this thing as well. We've got an electric atmosphere in here, just like it always is when these two teams square off. It should be a good one, and I'm glad to be right in the middle of it.
Now let's take a look at the Nuggets opening lineup. Fareed and Nurkic in the middle. Moutier out there with Will Barton. And it's Gallinari in at the 3 slot. Early on last year, it was clear Steph Curry was just on another level. Was an MVP candidate right from the start of the season, and he would eventually be voted that award.
And I thought very deserving. You could see how he elevated his play, and so many of us and so much talk focuses on what he does offensively. But he was ahead of the snake of a terrific defensive group for Golden State a season ago, and that's one reason why he ended up being the MVP.
Here's Thompson, following the basket by Kenneth Fareed, and Green gets it to go.
Off to a nice start here. They've hit all 3 from the field.
Nuggets have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Gallinari with a screen for Moutier.
And with Curry winning his first NBA MVP award, he played the fewest minutes by an MVP in league history, mostly because his team was up by so much he got to sit a number of fourth quarters.
And with Curry and the MVP, there was some pressure with Harden. Relatively close voting, but Curry was the clear winner. Hard to argue with the season he had, leading his team to 67 wins last year.
Now here's Curry, a 29-point game for him in the win against the Clippers.
You know, and in watching that game, he did a really nice job of passing the basketball, scoring, and setting up his teammates.
Moutier with the ball, picked up by Thompson. Moutier with the basket. The Warriors have gone 4 of 4 to start, so a nice offensive rhythm to start here. Some nice passing by Golden State here. Bogut against Nurkic. Bogut kicks to Green. 5 on the clock. Thompson passes to Curry. No good with the triple.
Not a problem when that's your first miss of the game. Strong start.
And here in the first, approaching 3 minutes played. Moutier, no good.
That's a look you cannot pass up. It's also one you should miss. And guys, one thing that we were treated with last year was Steve Kerr's great quotability in post-game interviews and pressers. He said all the right things and deflected praise like a coach who had done it for many years.
Now here's Moutier. What a tremendous game he played against Utah. Connects on the 17-footer. Last outing for Golden State, they won that game against the Clippers.
You want to talk about a fantastic finish. That game had a little bit of everything and then a little bit of extra in overtime. So it was a great, great win for him.
A ton of fun to watch, whether you were talking about it or a fan. And that was a great, great game.
Here's Curry after the Nuggets pick up 2. Another miss by Curry.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
Moutier with the ball. And Curry picks him up defensively. Out to the wing. That's good from Moutier on the assist from Gallinari. And it's 6 points for Emmanuel Moutier.
Another nice bucket down low. They've really been able to work the ball into the post effectively so far.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see them operating a lot of their offense from the interior today.
The Nuggets trail. 1:52 left in the first quarter. Here's Barton. He's covered by Thompson. Barton, no luck.
Oh, that's terrific defense there. That's how you protect the rim.
Curry dishes to Bogut. Back to Curry. He kicks to Barnes. Curry passes to Bogut. Golden State needs to get off a shot. Beyond the arc. Denver grabs the miss. They put up a nice win against Utah last time out.
Yeah, ran away with that game, mainly in part because of their offense.
Yeah, the ball movement and player movement, so crisp and sharp, and it led to a lot of high-quality shots for him.
Now Gallinari following the three-point attempt by Andrew Bogut.
You know, there are a lot of bigger power forwards than him in the NBA, but very few that rise up like he can.
Outside Curry. Passes it to Bogut. He dishes it to Thompson. Fades away. Good on the shot. Thompson's got his second bucket of the game to go.
That was a beautiful fadeaway. Knocked it down with the defender right in his grill.
Pass to Gallinari. Misses the wing J.
Well, I tell you what, that's too good a look to pass up there. Even though it didn't go, that's one you got to take.
And sometimes we all just want to show people that we have the range.
Yeah, you speaking from experience? We already know how good his range is. He shouldn't be firing from that deep, though. It seems that every pass they make is leading to a score here. I mean, that's just exquisite ball movement.
And that's because the ball is looking for the best shot, and it's really paid off for them during the run.
Curry. Warriors the rebound. Gets it off. He knocks it down, but wait a minute. The officials are getting together. They may want to review this one. And it looks like they are going to review the play. The question, did he get the basket off? And Steph Curry, a player within the gym range. He told us about his...
Anywhere 5-6 feet.
was going to say, Greg, how big must that hoop look to Steph Curry? And tough to guard might be the understatement of the day.
I mean, he is just an insanely great shooter. I mean, arguably, I don't think there's an argument. He's the best shooter in the world. The argument is whether or not he's the best shooter ever. And listen, I can imagine there's very few times that Coach Curry is not going to allow this splash brother to let her rip.
And we got a close game here as we get back to the second quarter. And the Nuggets, guys, what jumps out to you numbers-wise?
It's been a point of emphasis, no doubt, to make sure they attack the rim offensively.
I love the fact they're not settling for outside shots. Keep attacking that rack.
On the floor for Denver as we get going here in the second quarter. We've got Wilson Chandler. Harris is out there with Moutier. Then it's Sanders. When you think about Sean Livingston, you think about the career that might have been an absolute rising star after being taken Clark fourth back in the 2004 draft.
Kevin, he was averaging over 5 assists a game as a teenager, and his shot was improving every year. Then the devastating knee injury. Just great to see him back playing basketball.
And getting back to Livingston, he's had comeback after comeback. I mean, each time he'd start to flash those unbelievable movement skills, he'd get injured again. It's a shame because he was on the path to becoming one of the game's great young point guards.
Atop the key, Rush. Pass to Spates. That misses, so no good on his first attempt of the night. The Nuggets leading by 5.
And for Livingston, last season with the Warriors was a dream. He got to back up Steph, so he got to play against second stringers, and we got to see flashes of his dominant traits again. What a happy ending for him.
The Nuggets shooting 53% from the floor. They're locked in. Moutier with the ball. Barbosa picks him up. Moutier passes to Jokic, and he bangs it home with one hand.
Maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that.
And we know he's capable of those memorable dunks.
Yeah, and when he's got a lead like that, why not take a few chances? A lot more engaging and entertaining than just doing the old ho-hum one-hander.
And we're a little over a minute and a half into the second quarter of action. Here is Livingston. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard.
I didn't see that miss coming. I mean, he's usually been money from that range.
That's good. And now a 9-point Nugget lead.
And he is the ultimate when it comes to being a floor leader on the offensive end.
Yeah, you know, he's got a little bit of Greg Anthony in him. And he has been that leader today. I think he's done a really nice job of moving the ball and distributing it the way it needs to be done.
Well, Clark, I'm glad you referenced specifically why you thought he had a little Greg Anthony. I thought you were talking about the knees, my man. he looked a little hobbled out there for a moment.
That's good.
They're getting on a roll inside. Their last 3 field goals have come from inside the paint area.
There's got to be a wall of defense when it comes to attacking the paint. Plain and simple. And that's some inspiration. Steals, blocks, and a big dunk. Those are ways that you can really change the momentum in a game.
Well, they got to chip away, Clark, at that deficit, and no doubt that'll help.
And that's what he's out there for, guys. I mean, he is an electrifying player, no doubt.
It's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. Well, perhaps one of the most intriguing draft picks of this past summer, Emmanuel Moutier, can be a game-changing player. Was going to play, Clark, as you recall, at SMU for Larry Brown.
He sure was, and went overseas instead, so we don't know a ton about him other than his reputation is sterling. Now we'll see if he can live up to it.
Laverne, he's checked in for Denver. Spates kicks to Iguodala. Rejected by Harris. Here's the break. Here's Laverne. And another miss by Denver. Warriors trail by 8. One-on-one fast break. Iguodala, no good.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be, because he is so strong in the paint.
That's good.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with the way they work down low.
It's becoming a theme in this game, Clark. They are piling up the points in the paint.
And the Warriors with some changes. Green is checked in for Iguodala. Thompson comes in for Leandro Barbosa. And Curry subbed in for Sean Livingston. And a switcher also for Denver. Barton is checked in. And the Warriors miss again.
Not sure why he keeps trying his luck from deep here. It's just not his night.
And almost 4 minutes gone here in the second quarter of play. And there's the pass to Laverne. Just 5 on the clock. And he uses the glass on the layup. And now a 12-point Denver lead.
And now we can see them really working it inside.
Yeah, Clark, quality looks at the rim. That's fueling this run.
Here's Chandler, and he takes the fantastic lead pass up strong for the slam.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case, it looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, I remember GA as an irritant, and this guy, much like Greg, creating havoc out there.
I'm sorry, that's poor defense down low again. It's been a mismatch thus far in the paint.
I'd agree with you, and I don't think they expected this one to be a game where they would get battered inside like they had.
Rush dishes to Spates. Cranes it from beyond the arc. Spates has got 6 points.
He's really starting to ramp it up now, getting involved in the offense here after being held without a point in the first.
And really, the Warriors had an amazing regular season last year. Just from a historical standpoint, it was one of the best ever.
Here's Barton, guarded by Spates. Barton passes to Laverne. A good finish at the rack off the slick feed. Laverne's got 4 points in the quarter. All right, well, look at how the hustle game has been going for Denver.
Boy, they've really amped up the pressure at the defensive end, guys, and have piled up the steals in the early going.
And also defensively, they've been able to cause some turnovers tonight, and that also builds confidence and gives you momentum.
And for the Warriors last year, they would end the season with 67 wins. That number, Clark, tying for the 6th best win total in NBA history.
And my guess is only a few people saw it coming. I mean, and as the season wore on, it became more and more apparent that the Warriors were for real, but it took a while for people to accept that fact.
He was all alone on that one. Green's got his second bucket of the night.
Excellent feed from Steph Curry.
The Nuggets leading by 13. And it's Harris off the drive, and he gets it to go.
Clearly, they've been the hotter team here in the first half.
Well, they've been grit and grind, working for those high percentage shots, and quite honestly, it's paid off for them.
Kicks to Rush with the shot. Barton with the rebound. And the foul is called. He intentionally grabbed in there for some reason. I don't know.
Kevin, all I can think of is that he's trying to slow the game down a little bit.
Right.
That's a stretch, though.
And we finished one half of basketball.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here alongside Kenny. A pretty close game from the Nuggets throughout the first quarter. They were able to squeeze ahead. And that's going to do it for now as the second half is almost ready to get started. Back to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K Sports crew. We're going to sit right here and wait for...
Welcome back, everyone. We're ready to get going again as this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports continues. Players are topped off with Gatorade, hydrated, and ready to get going again as well. We're seeing a tremendous game here from Emmanuel Mudiay.
Just in attack mode, he was able to get in the lane at will in that first half.
Yeah, it really was aggressive attacking basketball at its finest. I mean, really a lot of fun to watch.
The defensive stalwarts, Green and Bogut, are down low. Thompson is the 2 with Barnes at the 3, and it's Curry in at the point guard position. So that's the group out there for Golden State.
And while we have a chance, how about the numbers for Kenneth Faried? A very nice season for him last year. 15th in field goal percentage, and he was among the top 20 rebounders in the league. Never shy about throwing his weight around in the paint.
And as you said, one of the more efficient scorers in the league last year. He showed great shot selection, and more often than not, sent it home.
Tanking is something that all teams that are out of it tend to do. I hate that word, Clark, but it seems to be the one used by a lot. Nuggets didn't really try to hide it last season either.
Well, you know, it certainly looked that way. Right around March, they just started sitting key players for no real reason. They framed it as rest, but it didn't quite look that way.
And, guys, for the Nuggets, it seemed to come out of the blue for their players. They all felt fresh, but the press release would say they needed rest. So, obviously, a bit of miscommunication there.
Here's Gallinari. Goes back up. Fareed. Persistence pays off as they finally hit a shot. Fareed's got 6.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Yeah, double-digit advantage on the scoreboard. They've taken the initiative. They've played, I think, with more purpose so far.
Timeout called the Warriors.
And, you know, back to the Nuggets and giving up a bit near the end of the season, miscommunications like that can really bother a player. Still, it's a viable strategy. I don't know if it's viable, but it's a strategy that could pay dividends if executed the right way.
He's got some serious momentum going right now. He's been great all day. Even last game, he was on fire.
Screen by Nurkic. Moutier kicks to Fareed. Out left to the wing. Here's Barton. Drops in the layup for 2. Barton's got his second basket of the night.
Their prowess inside has been tremendous, guys. I mean, it's been no contest down on the low block.
And until the defense puts up a little more resistance, they ought to continue to pound them down low.
That's 2 straight quick three-pointers they've allowed.
Defense just not reacting with enough aggressiveness.
The 3 ball. But they'll get another chance. Moutier, no good. Thompson dishes to Barnes. Golden State moving it around. He feeds it to Bogut. Off target from three-point range.
Really was a slow start for Gallinari last season. It took him a while to get back to speed after missing all of the 2013-14 season with that torn ACL.
3 points. Danilo Gallinari.
Well, we're into the third quarter, just over 2.5 minutes played. Outside Curry. From outside the arc. And the rebound by Nurkic.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
And what I like about it, Greg, it's been a physical brand of basketball. It's had a little sandpaper element to it. Gritty and rough. But that's how you win games.
Fareed, a screen on Curry. Barton kicks to Nurkic. Misses from short range.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on it.
Out of bounds. Denver takes possession. Here is the 2K leaderboard with last season's top passing teams. The Warriors, number 1.
Kevin, this squad had some great passers. I'm talking about outstanding passers. Creative, effective, versatile. I mean, they really knew how to find the right moment last year to get the ball to an open teammate. And that's the key to having assists and leading the league in that category. Finding open teammates for good shots.
Looking at who's out there now for the Warriors. Andre Iguodala is checked in for Klay Thompson. And it's Livingston in for Steph Curry. Here's Livingston. Drains the three-pointer. Livingston's got 5.
They're going back to the three-point shot over and over and over.
And they may have found the Achilles heel of this defense. That was their 9th straight point from beyond the arc.
That's good. That's now 8 points for Wilson Chandler.
They are not rotating nearly quickly enough on defense down low. Got to get quicker there.
Just no resistance on the interior.
Now a timeout called by Golden State.
You know, when I think of Wilson Chandler, what comes to mind is supreme athleticism. He can throw it down with the best of them, and yet he's still working on the other areas of his game to be more well-rounded.
And the Warriors with some changes. Spates checked in for Bogut. Barbosa comes in for Barnes. And Curry subbed in for Sean Livingston. And then for Denver, Sanders checked in for Reed. And it's Gary Harris in for Barton. And he recovers it. Curry with it. Now defended by Sanders. Fires the three. It's hauled in by the Nuggets. You know, back to Wilson Chandler, he's somewhat of a wild card. One of the few guys to go overseas. Remember, Greg, during that NBA lockout in 2011, he signed to play for China and didn't negotiate an out clause when he signed.
Yeah, and truth is, Chandler's one of those guys who can give you some solid minutes, but you hope at some point that he gets serious and commits to reaching his full potential.
Curry passes to Barbosa. Unloads. Kicks it out to Iguodala. Money from the wing. 55 seconds left to play in the third. Here's Chandler. Cannot hit.
Well, what appeared to be an easy 2 points just never materialized.
The shot by Curry, no good.
It has not been an easy quarter for him, at least offensively speaking.
Moutier dishes to Chandler. Passes to Jokic. Curry against Harris. Out to the wing. Here's Jokic. Goes back up. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot two. The Nuggets shooting their 7th and 8th free throw attempts for the game right here. The first free throw is good. Laverne, he's checked in for Denver. Gallinari comes in for Gary Harris. He hits both from the stripe.
Can you believe the job they're doing at the foul line since halftime? I mean, they've been perfect so far.
Yeah, as cool as can be, Clark. Great focus and efficiency. That's how they built this lead.
It just hasn't been a very good day for him, guys. They need him to start burying some of those.
It's stolen by Green. All alone. Throws down the breakaway jam.
Major league big boy throwdown right there.
And he keeps a tight grip on that rim after the finish.
Yeah, maybe that'll give them a little bit of that swagger that they seem to have lost.
No one near Moutier as he lets it go. And here at the end of the third quarter, it's a double-digit ball game. Nuggets lead by 14. And we're rolling here again with the fourth quarter. Might not come down to the wire, but you never know. And so it's Golden State with it. It's a 14-point game. After this one, they're off to Sacramento to take on the Kings. That'll be just one game played away from home for them. All right, now a chance to set the floor courtesy of Gatorade. Fourth quarter action, all fueled up and ready to go. So on the floor for Denver, Gallinari sits outside at 3 with Farid at the 4. Moutier out there with Will Barton. And it's Laverne in at the 5 spot.
As long as they keep spraying them from deep, we're going to have ourselves one exciting finish.
Yeah, it took them a while, but now they're starting to get into a flow from outside. And boy, is that timely.
And Gallinari kicks to Farid. And he floats in for the easy 2. Credit the assist on that one.
And he can time his passes so perfectly. Wow, what an assist.
Fourth quarter of basketball. We're about a minute into it. Moutier kicks to Gallinari. And again, Denver with the triple. All right, well, look at how the hustle game has been going for the Nuggets.
Their high-energy defensive effort has paid off for them, guys, with more than a few steals over the course of the ballgame.
And also, I've been extremely impressed with their interior D. Their rim protection has been as good as it gets. How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought without any individual agendas.
Yeah, and it's really fun to see that kind of unselfishness. Really hard not to appreciate all the assists they've racked up.
And he commits the intentional foul.
Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. You know, maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
Yeah, but that's no excuse for that kind of foul. I mean, that might be an explanation for it, but certainly doesn't justify it. And even then, it's just not a good play.
Nurkic checked in for Laverne.
Oh, terrific way to finish that move there, going to the basket.
Warriors trail by 20. Thompson up top. Barnes kicks to Livingston. And no good. The dry spell continuing for him. Moutier pass to Barton. Good ball movement here by the Nuggets.
It's been kind of a gradual occurrence, but I think it's clear that analytics are here to stay in the NBA. Every team now has at least some vesting into the analytics area. Some base a lot of their decisions on the number side of the game. Others have a more balanced approach.
Feeds it to Gallinari. And again, Denver with the triple.
He is pouring it on in the second half, guys. I mean, a much better showing than he had before the break.
Thompson dishes to Rush. Inside. Barnes kicks to Livingston. Shot on the wing. And he gets the bucket.
And he's made more than his fair share of those today.
The Nuggets leading by 18.
Nuggets call timeout.
Denver calls timeout.
And how about Harrison Barnes, the Black Falcon? I mean, he was a high school phenom in Ames, Iowa, and a lottery pick back in 2012 after 2 seasons at Carolina. Remember also in high school, he was a teammate of Dougie McBuckets.
Draymond Green, he's checked in for Golden State. Curry comes in for Sean Livingston. Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Hi, Kevin. I was able to hear the advice Mike Malone gave to his team during that last break. He used the word patience several times in describing what he'd like to see from their offense. It's not a run-and-gun approach he wants from them. Guys, they're operating under the principle that it's never too late to fine-tune the game plan. Kevin, over to you.
Thanks, Doris. And that one's good. That's 10 points for Kenneth Faried. Harrison Barnes, of course, went to North Carolina, grew up as a huge fan of former Tar Heel Michael Jordan.
Yeah, you know, interesting, his mother started taping Jordan's games on the VCR years before he was born. His given name, Harrison Bryson Jordan Barnes. How about that for a factoid?
I didn't know that.
Nor did I.
And the Warriors making a change here. Iguodala's checked in, and Steph Curry with the foul. That is his first foul of the game. Here's Barton. Here's the teardrop. The shot is off. Great D that time from Green. Curry with it. Now defended by Moutier. Outside Curry. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. Curry's got 13 points here in the second half alone. The Nuggets leading by 16. Here's Barton. Faried, a screen on Thompson. Here's Barton, and it's sent back by Bogut. And oh, here we go with Green. Nobody back.
And looking a lot better now, but still a long way to go to get back into this one.
Well, I like the fact that we can still see a flicker of a flame burning. They haven't given up or given in. They've picked it up at both ends and right now on a nice run.
And tonight's battle is going to end with a very clear winner, leaving nothing to chance. Impressive win for the Nuggets.
This was a very efficient offense tonight.
They knocked down their shots. I mean, a little luck didn't hurt either. A lot of their 50-50 shots went in the basket.
And during the long NBA season, each contest important here tonight. Tonight's win will give them 4 on the season.
And they'll take the win tonight, setting the tone in the first matchup of this 4-game season series.
And it will be a fight, Greg. When you see an opponent that many times, it's inevitable that those games take on a little extra added meaning for the players.
A fantastic show. And what an amazing all-around game it was for Moutier. A big part of their success was his ability to keep the ball moving, finding guys when they would flash open.
Iguodala's drive, that's good.
And this run not really doing them any good at this point, as late as it's starting to evolve.
Yeah, but kudos to him, Greg. I mean, the fight they're showing now, you got to give them credit for that. Would have been really easy to pack it in.
Nurkic lays it up, and despite of the excellent defense at that.
And you can hear the disappointment in the crowd tonight, but we saw a team that was just ready to do battle in this arena. They clearly wanted this road win.
Crystal clearly. They came in here determined to steal this game, Greg. Their effort level, I thought, was outstanding, and they just took care of business.
And now they decide to foul intentionally.
Yeah, with the game out of reach, intentional fouls don't mean anything. It's just an exercise in futility. Let the clock go.
Yeah, I agree with you, Clark. Just doesn't really make a lot of sense at this point.
Nelson outside. So it's the Nuggets winning this one easily. And in
introducing the Lone Ranger, the Kimo Sabi, the horses are big, the 10-gallon tracks, the hood cowboys with the 10-gallon raps.